Ever get the feeling like there's a younger you, maybe like 8 years old, still kind of hanging around inside? And I don't mean in a spooky way, haha. It's more like, ever notice how you react to stuff? Maybe it's rooted in those early experiences, you know? That's what we're diving into today, inner child work.
Exactly. It's wild how those early joys and hurts, especially the hurts, can stick with us.
It's like having this hidden blueprint, right? And get this, we're using 50 journal prompts to heal your inner child by LeStallion as our guide. I'm excited about this one.
Me too. But I find interesting is that LeStallion doesn't just throw out this idea of healing. She makes it practical, you know? 50 specific prompts, see, that's a lot, but it's like a toolbox for self-reflection.
Right, like journaling is huge for this kind of work. It's your space to process, no judgment. Have you ever noticed how, like, a strong reaction you have to something? So sometimes it's like, whoa, this is coming from somewhere deeper.
All the time. Say you weren't allowed to express anger as a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't safe. Fast forward and bam, you shut down in conflicts.
It's like that younger self is calling the shots, even now. So how does healing this inner child even work? Are we talking time travel here?
Uh-huh. I wish.
Huh.
LeStallion talks about reparenting the inner child, basically. Acknowledging those unmet needs from back then. Offering compassion to that younger you.
So not like trying to be the perfect parent now, more like understanding where they were coming from.
Exactly. Recognizing those tough experiences, well, they shaped you, but you're also capable and resilient because of them.
I like that. A little grace goes a long way. You know, LeStallion even mentions Jungian psychology.
Yeah, Carl Jung, he explored these things called archetypes, right? Universal patterns in our minds. And the pure eternus, the eternal child, is especially relevant.
Okay, break that down for us, eternal child. Sounds kind of intense.
Think of it as the part of us that craves joy, playfulness, but also holds those old wounds. Two sides of the same coin, you know?
Makes sense, yeah. So that's where these journal prompts come in, like a roadmap back to ourselves.
Exactly. LeStallion gives us 50, each one designed to open up a dialogue with that younger part of us.
50. She even organizes them into categories, which I appreciate. Discovering joy, embracing feelings, forgiving and letting go, self-acceptance and love, and creating a new path. We've got a lot to unpack.
We do. But the cool thing is, it's a choose-your-own-adventure kind of thing. Some will resonate more than others. It's about your unique experience.
So many prompts, so little time. I thought maybe we could each pick a couple that really jumped out and, you know, really get into them.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's not about checking boxes, right? It's about depth.
Totally. Okay, from discovering joy, this one's simple but powerful. What was your favorite game to play as a child? Seems basic, but what do you think it can unlock?
It's like a time machine to pure joy.
Oh,
Not just the memory itself, but like,
right.
What was it about that game? What lit you up? It reminds us adults need play too, you know?
It's so true. Like, for me, it was Legos. For hours, I was in my own world, building spaceships, whatever. That feeling of, I don't know, creative flow, we lose that sometimes.
Totally. We get so goal-oriented, we forget how to just be, you know, LeStallion's onto something here. Tapping into that childlike part can bring back the joy in simple things, even as adults.
Yes. Permission to not be so serious all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, one more that grabbed me. From embracing feelings. What feelings were hard for you to express as a child? How do you handle that emotion now?
Ooh, that's a good one. Gets right to the heart of how our past shapes us. Like, say, sadness was taboo in your family, you learned to bottle it up. Then bam, as an adult, vulnerability is terrifying.
It's like we don't just magically outgrow that stuff, do we? And on the flip side, creating that safe space for kids now to feel their feelings, that's huge.
Absolutely. Not about good or bad emotions, but healthy ways to deal with them. And look, not to blame our parents. They did what they knew, but we can break the cycle, right?
Yeah, but sometimes that means facing some tough stuff, which I guess is where forgiving and letting go comes in. What are your thoughts?
Forgiveness.
Yeah.
It's not saying what happened was okay. It's more like letting go of the anger we're carrying. Otherwise, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Right. Holding on to that just hurts us more in the end. There's a prompt here. What grudges are you holding on to that affect your inner child? Easy to brush off kid stuff, but it sticks with us, you know?
Big time. LeStallion talks about visualizing, like comforting that younger you.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of out there, but powerful imagery, right?
It is. And that brings us to self-compassion, which I feel like that's key to all this inner child work. It's funny, right? We're supposed to just magically know how to love ourselves, but nobody really teaches us that. Feels pretty key to healing that inner child, though, yeah.
Huge. And it's not about being perfect. It's more like radical acceptance. flaws and all, So remember that prompt about qualities we loved in ourselves as kids. It's like, how can we nurture that person again?
It's true. Kids are kind of awesome that way, like so free to be themselves. Then we grow up and,
Yeah.
yeah, expectations and all that.
And that's why this work is so powerful, right? It's like reclaiming those lost parts, finding wonder again in everyday things.
Not being childish, but that open-hearted way kids see the world. Love it. Okay, last section in LeStallion's book, Creating a New Path. It's like, we've reflected, now what actions can we take?
Exactly. This prompt got me. How can you make your living space more comforting for your inner child? Kind of a cool thought, right?
Never thought of it like that. Like, what does that even look like? My inner child wants beanbag chairs everywhere.
Maybe. Could be color, plants, a cozy reading nook, whatever sparks that joy, that playfulness.
And it doesn't have to be stuff, right?
Yeah.
LeStallion also talks about activities, nature, creativity, even goofing off.
Yes, prioritizing joy, making it a habit.
It's like remembering what makes us feel alive again.
Exactly. And through all this, being gentle with ourselves. Healing's not a straight line.
Right.
Ups and downs happen. But the more we can tap into that inner kindness, the more we heal.
This has been such a great deep dive. We've talked about how childhood impacts us, the power of journaling, and self-compassion as a superpower.
And we just scratched the surface. LeStallion's book's got even more for anyone wanting to dive deeper into this whole inner child thing.
Seriously, check it out. 50 journal prompts to heal your inner child. So much good stuff in there.
And remember, it's never too late to connect with that younger you. They're waiting.
Love that. Thanks for joining us on this journey inward, everyone. Until next time, be kind to yourselves.